Keep it a competitive environment, which is good because it kind of gives you a point of pride and gives you a chance to excel and get recognized for excelling. Okay, so it's called the driver scorecard. Every month and every quarter, you'll get one per month, and then you'll get an overall every quarter. You're going to be ranked against everybody in your fleet, which is 45 to 50 drivers, and then you're going to get another ranking against all the other drivers in the company. Okay, so two different ranks. You'll be ranked once a month and then again in a quarter. Okay, you want to move up the ranks as quickly as you can. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on that one. It's a score that goes into it on the driver scorecard. You get points for various things. Now they've changed the fuel bonus. It's wrapped up into the overall safety bonus. But when I was driving, you kind of had the fuel bonus and the safety bonus they weren't independent of each other, but they were two separate things. You definitely want the fuel bonus. You absolutely want it. It's several $100s, and I say several because it varies, but it's several $100s extra in a quarterly payment, okay? But there's a couple things to that. Number one, use cruise control. Number two, if your truck idles, try to idle as little as possible, but we calibrate the mileage target that we're aiming for based on your truck. So if your truck idles, they allow you more, they calibrate that to the fact that you're idling, all right? Follow your fuel solution, follow your route suggestion. They figure your mileage based on the short route miles from point to point. They don't care what the dashboard says. So you hit the mileage MPG on the digital display and it says you're getting 8 miles per gallon. Well, that's not what they're looking at. They're looking at how much fuel you're buying, how much fuel you're purchasing versus how many miles you're driving. That's how they measure it, okay? You go a lot of out or out miles, you're going to screw yourself out of the fuel bonus. Also, you have to drive slow, which takes a hell of a lot of discipline. Okay, me and Prime are just tooling down the road nice and slow, right? Because their trucks are slow too. Truck's governed at 65. You can put your foot right against the governor and drive like that all the time. You'll never see the fuel bonus ever. Okay, my truck was a 10-speed with a Cummins engine in it, a full roof. All right, in mine I had to hit 6.8, so I just barely made it. You got to do it for 3 months in a row, a whole quarter. So February, March, and April of 2016 was when I had this one. I kept it at 6.8 or better for 3 months. There's your points that goes into your driver scorecard. That got me the fuel bonus.
Are they still doing the points equals cash in your stores?
I think so, but don't hold me to that.
I
think so, but don't hold me to it. I'd have to double check me on that.
I know my recruiter was saying too, like when they do driver appreciation and stuff, all that'll tie into because they'll give away awards and stuff, like money, TVs and stuff like that.
They do. They also, you also get write-ups about, Rookie of the Month and Driver of the Month, Driver of the Year, all that kind of stuff too. You want to be at the top. You want to get there and stay there. But this all goes in your driver scorecard. The last year and a half I was on the road, I got the fuel bonus every single time it was paid. But the only way I could do that in my truck, in my situation, was to put my cruise control on 58 miles an hour when I was heavily loaded going through mountainous terrain. When I was going deadheading across flat ground, I'd run 62. Okay? We dispatch our loads at 50. I'm telling you, once you learn how to drive like that, you'll never change it because you just put it in the right lane and you cruise, and it's so stress-free. It's a lot lower stress level than just constantly trying to get it.
The amount of money they pay out for these bonuses too, you're going to make more in your bonus than you will trying to drive balls to the walls, getting one extra load.
Well, and that's what I want to talk about too. Right here, my productivity goal was 414. That's the goal they set for me. My productivity was 425, so I was at 103% of productivity. So I was 3% above the maximum that it was expected. I get points for that. That was driving slow. Okay, what you'll hear from some of our experienced drivers is they'll say this, the conversation will go like this. Yeah, I never get the fuel bonus, but I drive 65, I get more miles and I get more loads. No, they don't.
Get 10,000 miles.
No, they don't.
You need.
No, they don't. They do not get more miles, they do not get more loads. That's not how it works. Okay?
So you'd have to get 10,000 miles to break even with the yearly bonus.
That's right.
So the productivity has to deal with your fuel mileage?
No, the productivity has to do with the number of, it's not miles here. I haven't got an answer on what this is.
Okay.
But I got to find out. But it's what their expectations are for you on the number of miles and number of loads that you're getting over a month and a quarter. All right, so I was in Fleet 31 and I was number 1. And once I got there, I stayed there. Okay, it was me and one other guy. It was just, I'd be number 1, I'd be number 2, he'd be number 1. And we just toggle back and forth the whole time, which used to piss me off. All right, in the whole company, we had 1,255 drivers. I was 35. Okay, nice. The best I ever did was 12. The worst I ever did was the first year I worked here, and that was in the 900s. Because nobody told me about this. I had no idea this even existed. Okay, you don't get that pretty much unless you're a million miler, I think. But I did get this, whatever that means. MAC, that's your Melton Advanced Credentials. That's having your, there's your points. That's having your passport, TWIC card, hazmat, tanker, all that stuff. You want to get all that. They give you credit for that too. Also, that opens you up for more loads.
Why do they want you to have tanker?
Because every once in a while, I've never hauled them, but we do haul totes sometimes. And if you have a bunch of totes on your trailer, you have to have a tanker. Yeah. Fuel mileage, safety, accidents, that kind of stuff. All of it plays into the point system in your ranking. Okay. Make the top 100, which 35 was in the top 50, right? Number 12 is in the top 20, right? You want to get there and stay there. You want to get in the top 100. You want to stay in the top 100. And then when you drop out of it on occasion, because it might happen, it's going to make you mad, and you're going to want to get back in there and stay there, right? Stay in the top 100 for 3 months straight, a whole quarter, and you make the elite fleet. Once you get there, you definitely want to stay there too, okay? Now, I can't tell you as an orientation supervisor about this, but I can tell you about this as a driver. You make the elite fleet and you stay there consistently, your conversations with your DMs may go something like this, what they did with me. Hey, John, I got this load, and this load. Which one do you want? I'll take this one. All right, you just tell me when you get there, and you let me know when you're going to deliver it on the other end of the deal. Have a nice day. You run your own ship at that point. Now, when you're down in the 900s or you're like down in the low points, your conversation with your DM is going to go like this. First of all, they're going to call you at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, hey, your 10-hour break's up. Why aren't you rolling? Hey, you need to get there. Hey, you were late last week. Why aren't you there yet? Let me know as soon as you get there. They're going to micromanage you from hell if they can't trust you. But if you make this level here and you're a trusted driver, they're not going to intervene in your life every day. They're not going to be bugging you all the time. And all this happens because the DMs are paid based on your performance. Okay? It's based on your performance. Right? So they're constantly looking at your performance because that affects their bottom line. Right?
I thought they got paid a percentage of the load of each driver.
I don't know all the details. I know that they do not get paid based on a percentage of the load.
Only bring one load for the week.
All right, talk about having a passport. You absolutely do want your passport. One load going into Canada paid an extra $164.94 over and above my mileage pay and everything else. That's nice. Just the extra pay for a Canada load. That's one load going into Canada. I probably got something close to that on the next load coming back out of Canada, the back haul. Okay. All right? So you definitely want that. I put this up here for you 5-day guys. Our Qualcomms do not automatically put in the load information. There's a load tab on the front screen. You must manually enter your load information every time you load, okay? So load ID, start date, end date, bill lading number, trailer number, and then trailer 2, we put the shipper, and trailer 3, we put the commodity we're hauling. Some companies, that all gets auto-filled. Ours doesn't work that way. You have to manually enter it, okay?
What is trailer 2?
That's the shipper, which in this case is EMJ.
Okay.
You'll hate that load. You guys done those loads? EMJ out of Schaumburg, Illinois?
I've done the one in Tulsa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
From there to Canada.
Yeah, you get an EMJ load. I'm going to do a simulated EMJ load out here on this load securement yard. That ought to be fun.
I'm glad I came here when I did.
You'll use every strap you got to secure this load. It's crazy. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. There's like a little pallet like this big with a little piece of steel on it and one band over it hidden in the middle of the trailer.
I did go to the one in Illinois too where you drop
Schaumburg, yeah.
Set for 10 hours.
Yeah, you'll do a 10-hour break at that place. You won't get away from there. Oh, those loads are, whew, man.
The one in Tulsa is not that bad.
No, it's little. That place is little. All right, one more to go.